Hello, this is Robin from Simple Food, Simple Life. Today we're going to make pumpkin cake and we're going to do it the easy way. So stick around because you don't want to miss it. Thanks for joining me today. Today we are going to make a pumpkin cake and we're going to do it the easy way. I want to show you the ingredients that I have to do this pumpkin cake because I think this is something that you're going to want to try to do. You know, fall is coming up on us and we're going to be going through October and then Thanksgiving, and yeah, our thoughts kind of go to autumnal things, right? And especially pumpkin. So we're going to do a pumpkin cake, and these are the ingredients we have for the pumpkin cake. I have a yellow cake mix. That's easy, right? I've got some pumpkin pie spice. I have a jar of cream cheese frosting, and yes, I purchased it. Excuse me. I've got 3 eggs. I've got some caramel ice cream topping. I've got some pumpkin, and I have some chopped up pecans. Wow, do you see where this is going? I think you do. All right. Now, in just a few moments, I'm going to show you how to do it, so hang in there. All right, I've got everything set up for us here. Now, what I've got is, first thing I want to show you, I have greased and sugared my pan. Now, I'm going to use an oblong pan for this, so this is a 13 by 9 inch pan. And for my cakes, instead of flouring and greasing and flouring the pan, I like to oil it up really good and then put some sugar in there instead. I think it just is a nice touch to a cake, and it comes out fine like that. So I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. I've got my pan ready, and in my bowl here I have my, get you set up so you can see me. I have the yellow cake mix. I've got a tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. I've got 3 eggs, and I have a 1/4 cup of soft butter. And now all I have to do is add my pumpkin. And all this is 100% pure pumpkin. It's just like you might use for a pie. That's all it is. It's just pure pumpkin. There's nothing else in there. Okay? That's all we've got in here. I'll make sure I get all that out. And that goes in the cake. Now this cake is a really, really good cake. I think you're going to appreciate how easy this is to do. Now, because my mixer is broken, my hand mixer is broken, and I have not replaced it, which should show you how often I use a mixer. I am simply going to stir this up by hand. So, let me grab a knife real quick so I can scrape the spatula. You know, whenever I'm doing these things, it seems like I always forget to lay something out, right? Okay, so I'm going to get this mixed up, and I think I'm just going to use my little whisker here. This will break down as it goes. That's no problem. Now, the reason I am doing this in my oblong pan is because, you know what, I don't want to mess with a layer cake. To be honest, I don't love baking cakes. There's 2 things, I mean, I like to bake, but there's 2 things that I'm not keen on baking. That is cookies and cake. Cupcakes aren't so bad. I can get through those easier. But, now this could be made into a cupcake if you wanted to. But I'm just going to put it in the oblong pan. Get my thing mixed up here. And I'll probably switch my, get that off of there. I'll probably switch whisks and go to the other whisk because I can cover a little more ground that way, I think. Now, if you're doing this with a mixer, you can mix it up for about 2 minutes. That's about really all it'll take. Aren't cakes mixes wonderful? I think they're wonderful. They really, really are. All right. I'm going to check this. I think that looks pretty good, but we will see. It smells good. It smells nice and rich, and you can smell that delicious pumpkin flavor. You know, pumpkin anything is just good to me. Some people don't like it, but how can you not like pumpkin? Come on now. All right, I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? I think it looks good. All right, now, this is going to go, move my pan over here. This is going to go in the oven for about, at 350 degrees for about, 25 minutes. And then I'll check it. And of course, I'm going to put it on the middle rack. That's just a given, because if you put it on the bottom rack, it may tend to burn, and you don't want that, do you? So I will check it at about 25 minutes and see where we're at for doneness. And when this gets done, I will take it out and I'll show you what we've got. And when it cools off enough to frost, I'll show you then what we're going to do with it. I think you're going to like it. I really, really do. All right, let me get this off of here. I just even love the color of pumpkin. I just think it's beautiful. Now, you can serve this for dessert. You can serve it, you can take it for a potluck. Because sometimes, you know, we're coming up into the time when there seems to be a lot of family gatherings. And so this might be a good thing to have in your recipe file, in your repertoire, as they used to say. I think that's French. For a time when you need it. And most of us have cake mixes in our house, right? All right, I'm going to give this a tap. All right, now in the oven it goes, 350 degrees, 25 minutes. When it's done, we'll be back. All right, welcome back. Our cake is done, as you can see, and I think it looks really, really good. I tested it in the center with a toothpick, so I know it's done. And what we're going to do is we're going to frost it. Now, I have the cream cheese frosting from the can that I showed you, from the container. And what I did was I put it in the bowl, and I'm going to use, I went ahead and I put in a little bit of vanilla extract and stirred it in really well, just to give it that extra, I don't know, kind of a homemade flavor, okay? All right, and what I have here, I've got my caramel, my sundae syrup, which is caramel, and I have my chopped pecans. So, first thing we're going to do, and my cake is nicely cool too, and I wanted to be sure and tell you, when you make this, I used a yellow cake because I had a yellow cake, but if you don't have it, a spice cake works great. And if you use the spice cake, then you don't have to add the pumpkin pie spice, okay? Okay, so here we go. Now, I'm actually going to use all of this because we want a lot of frosting. What's cake if you don't have some frosting, right? And this again is a cream cheese frosting. It's pre-made. That's fine. You know, if you want to make your own, make your own. That's up to you. But sometimes we don't have time for that. So we just have to take shortcuts, and I'm never, ever, ever against shortcuts because I'm all about ease and simplicity, right? Right. So I'm going to get this spread on there. Just make sure that it's spread as evenly as I can. And get that there. Now, this cake is very transportable. That's why I like to put it in an oblong pan, because you don't have to be so delicate with it. But if you want to make a 2-layer cake out of this, oh, by all means, feel free. Now, I've got my little knife here. The ideal thing would be an offset spatula, but I've never owned one of those. I should get one, but I don't. So, make sure I'm evenly frosted there, as even as I can. And here we go. That looks pretty good. You think that looks pretty good? Come in closer. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going, that was pretty easy, wasn't it? And I'll tell you something else that's easy too. To like, subscribe, and share this video. All you have to do is subscribe and hit the bell so that you can always be notified when I post a new video. But you know what? If you watch a few episodes, you find out it's not what you like, that's fine. You can always unsubscribe, can't you? And be sure and share too, because other people need to know this stuff too. All right, got that going. Now I'm going to do the caramel. Now, here we go. And with this caramel, I'm simply going to, you can see this has got a little spout there, and I'm simply going to take the caramel and I'm going to start on one edge, and I'm just going to go back and forth with it like this. Believe you me, I am no fancy schmancy cake decorator, I can tell you. Okay? Not this girl. So you can actually do this any way you want to. It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. And you can put as much of that on there as you want to. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my little spatula here, and we're going to run it this way, and we're going to run it this way, so that that caramel kind of gets down inside of the frosting. That's what we want, right? I love caramel. I have to confess, it's one of my favorite flavors. I'm not a big chocolate person, but boy, do I really like caramel. All right, now then, I know, don't be suspicious because you think I licked that knife. I did. But I'm not going to use it again, so it's okay. That look pretty? All right. Now, I have my pecans here. And you know, I didn't buy a big bag and didn't chop them up. I just bought the small bag because that's all I need. I really don't need that much. And you know what? When you serve this, if you want to put a little extra caramel across each serving, you certainly can. It's no problem whatsoever. Make sure I get some around the edges. Sometimes we forget about the edges. Doesn't this look good? Now listen, I'll make sure that I post a picture of this, a cut piece, so you'll know what it looks like. I think you're going to like it. Okay? All right, now listen. If I can do this, anybody can do this, because I am not a baker. But you just remember that I love you. I'm thankful for you. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. And you know what? You just have to know one thing. That little is much when God is in it. All right. I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye. Thanks for watching Simple Food, Simple Life. Please like, subscribe, and share because other people need to know this stuff too, you know.